The Insta360 Sphere is a unique 360-degree camera designed to fit on the DJI Mavic Air 2 and Air 2S, and the Sphere's design effectively makes the drone invisible. The 360-degree view allows you to capture multiple angles at once, which can then be reframed to different camera angles and movements in Insta360 Studio. This allows you to easily create exciting FPV-style video footage. FPV drones are notoriously difficult to fly, but using a standard drone and keyframes during editing, any drone pilot with even minimal flying experience can create immersive FPV-style video. So here we have Insta360 Studio 2022 opened up, and we just need to load in the video files. You have to do this every time that you open up the software, but any edits that you've made previously will be loaded into the software. And by default, the first piece of footage in the folder will be opened up, but I would like to work on this one here. And then when I open it up, you'll see that we already have some edits in place, and we're going to take a look at how to apply these in a moment. But what we're going to do first is create a new project. So this is a cut down version of the whole piece of video. So I'm just going to go to project management and click on create a new project. So what that's going to do is just reopen all of that video footage in a new project for me. So when you're editing smaller clips from a larger video clip that may be a few minutes long, it just means that you can create your edits and then export them for editing in other software really easily. So I know that the footage I'm looking for is around here. So this is roughly where we start here. So I'm just going to drop in a trim start, so I can click on this icon here, or I can use the shortcut Control and the left square bracket key, or if you're on a Mac, that's Command and the left square bracket key. And then what we can do is just play the footage through just to see where we would like it to end. And there we go. So if I hit the space bar, that's the end there. So I'm just going to drop in an end point there, and now holding down Control and using the scroll wheel on the mouse, I can zoom in. So again, on a Mac, that would be Command and scroll wheel. So here we have our piece of footage, and the camera isn't facing the right way. So what I'm going to do to start with is drop in a keyframe. So let's just close this window down so that we can see everything. So here I'm going to drop in a keyframe to get everything started off. And up top we have the different views. So we have default, crystal ball, tiny planet, or natural view. But we're going to go for natural view here. And here I'm just going to change the pan angle. So that's going to allow me to change the direction that the camera is facing. So I don't want the tilt angle to change. So I'm just going to zero that out. And in this one here, you can either scroll by dragging on the video itself, or you can rotate like this, or you can type the exact figure in if you want to. So now when I hit the space bar, we're facing forwards as we would like to. And then this point here is the point where I would like to add my next keyframe. And as soon as I do that, you'll see that we get the keyframe information up again. And at this point, we can make further changes. So what I would like to do here is create a roll so that the drone rolls or spins as it goes under the bridge. So what I'm going to do here is go to the roll angle, and then I'm going to rotate it and keep going because I want it to go a full 360 degrees so that we're back where we started. And it's just gone over slightly, so I'm just going to zero this out by typing. And then if we just go back to the start, we can have a quick look at that. So immediately we've got that really nice spin, and then we come to the end, and then the next movement begins. So as soon as that movement starts to come backwards, as it did there, I want to actually drop in another keyframe so that I can add some more movement. So this time I'm going to change the tilt angle, and I'm going to drag it over to the left to roughly about 98 so that it's facing right down and we can see everything there. And then I'm just going to change the pan angle ever so slightly. So let's just take that over to -98. So we'll go slightly further actually. And now let's just go back to the beginning and take a look at how the footage is coming together. So already it's looking much more exciting than it did start with. And we're getting that kind of FPV style movement there. So I'm just going to watch until we've cleared the bridge there. And it's now time to drop in another keyframe there. And what I would like to do here is just spin everything back round again. So I am going to change the pan angle and let's go for about 252. And now let's change the tilt angle as well. So we'll get the camera facing upwards again. So that's looking good. So let's take another look at how the video is coming together. And the great thing is about the keyframes is that if you make a mistake, it's very easy to just delete the last keyframe that you made. So yeah, we've got a great look there. If you want to delete a keyframe, just click on it and you'll see there's a cross there. So you just click on there and it's gone and you can redo all the work again. So let's just move away from here and let's stop about there. We're going to drop in another keyframe. And here I'm just going to straighten the camera up so that we're facing the way that we started originally. And let's take another quick look at all of the footage as it plays through, just to make sure that the basic keyframes are working as I would like them to. And then once we're happy here, we can go through, change the speed of the footage, and also we can change the way that the transitions work. So I'm really happy with what we have here. So if you just click on the line between the keyframes, that gives us the option to change the transition. So here we have slip in, fade out, fade in, slip out, slip in, slip out, fade in, fade out, or none. So for this one here, I'm going to have fade in, fade out. So it's going to start off slowly, have a faster spin in the center, and then slow down again once we get to there. So for this second transition, I am going to go for a fade in, slip out. So let's take a look at how that affects the footage here. So it's going to move in slowly and then come out much quicker. And then for this next transition, I'm going to go for a fade in and fade out again. So let's have a quick look at how that's going to affect the footage. So you see it just really speeds it up in the center, which works really quite nicely. And then to finish off, let's go for a slip in and a fade out. So it's going to come in a lot faster and then finish off with a slower, smoother ending. So before we change the speed, let's have a look at the whole piece of footage. So it is really incredible how easy it is just to take some really slow standard video footage and just make it look like it was shot with an FPV drone, when in fact it was just shot with a DJI Mavic Air 2 or 2S and the Insta360 Sphere. So I'm really happy with all those transitions. Now let's take a look at how to change the speed of each section. We can increase the speed of the whole piece of footage, or we can do it individually for each part depending on how you would like it to look. So for this first section, I'm just going to click in the middle there and then click on the time shift icon, which is a lightning bolt. And you'll see there that we get a red guide. So if I just click there and then I can drag that over to the left, and by default, it gives you a 2 times speed increase. So you can make it quarter speed, half speed, 1 time, which is what you would get normally, 2 times, or you can go all the way up to 64 times. So you can really dramatically change the speed of the footage if you want to. And that's really useful because if you're flying slowly and carefully, it just allows you to speed things up and make it look like you were flying a really fast FPV drone. So let's move on to this second piece of footage, and I'm just going to quickly watch it just to see how it moves. So I would like that to actually be really fast. So let's create a new speed there. And for this one, I'm going to take it up to 4 times. So I'm going to have another very quick look at how it comes together. And the reason I keep re-watching the footage is simply that I would like to see how it's all fitting together as I go along. And if I need to make any changes, I can do that really easily. So I can just left mouse click on any of these speeds and change them if I need to. If I need to delete them, I can just left mouse click on it and hit backspace, or hit the dustbin icon here and it's gone. So let's move on to the next section, and I'm going to keep that at 2x speed. And then let's just play from here. And I think for this last section, I'm just going to double the speed again. So let's just watch everything through once more, just to make sure that everything is as it should be. So that is looking pretty good, but let's have a look and see what that last section looks like at 6x. Just really speed that up and see if it's working. If it's not, we can go back to 2 or 4x. But no, I think that 6x is looking good. So we've taken a piece of footage, which I think was about 17 seconds to start with, and now it's just 6 seconds. So for the export, I'm just going to switch the sound off there, and we just need to click on the Start Export icon here, and I'm going to choose reframed video for my export option. This is where I like to export my files to, and you can create your own preset. So if we go to none, you can just start from the beginning. So you can choose your bit rate, you can set the resolution, the frame rate is the frame rate of the video, and the encoding format. So you can export it as H.264, H.265 or ProRes 422 if you would like to make any adjustments to that footage in your editing software. So once all that's set up, just hit export and you're done. So that is how to create FPV style drone footage with the Insta360 Sphere, a DJI Mavic Air 2 or 2S and Insta360 Studio.